These are the dominant seventh chords with a raised and lowered fifth based on the whole tone scale on the 1, 2, 3, 4 string family. And these are in G or A or any other of the notes that are in that scale, B, C sharp, D sharp, and F. So any of them, but generally based around that whole tone scale. The first one we'll start off with is a G7 with a flat 5 here. So we'll start off with B, F, G, and C sharp. And we can go upwards on the top voice. And then downwards to an A. So off of those three forms, they're all movable. So if that was an F, resolved to B flat is fine. But again, any of them are movable by whole step in this case. All right, and if we go back to this one, we have an interesting move that we can do, voice leading wides, with our fingers just switching. So if we switch over this way, we have a G7, B, F, G, D flat, going to a B9, B, E flat, A, and C sharp. So we can kind of resolving to a D there by using that as a D resolution. So those are some interesting moves, just, you know, a physical move like this, really nice. And of course this, so B, D sharp, G, and C sharp is fine as well. And if you can make the reach to an F, that's nice. And it's a little easier higher up. So perhaps F, A, C sharp, and B. And we move the top voice down to F, B, C sharp, and A. And then the bottom two voices move for that augmented triad in that shape. E flat, G, B, and A. And then nice resolution there. That's really nice. Really pretty sounds from voicings that come out of that scale. Also, we'll do a couple that go backwards this way. So we'll start with this sharp 5, flat 5, I guess, on the G7. It's B, E flat, G, and C sharp, which is also an E flat 7 sharp 5. Now, if we move down to the G, to the A, the top melody note, we have a B7 with a sharp 5. B, E flat, G, and A. So that's an interesting voicing right there that we can use, and of course we can, of course, resolve it. But what's nice is the inner thirds can move. So they move here. So there's some nice voicing movements inside. There's a B with a flat 5, so we can move the E flat and the G down to D flat, and now we have a D flat 7 with a sharp 5, E flat 7, D flat 7, like that. But then we can move B, E flat, F, and A, so we have a flat 5 chord there, which is a nice. That's a nice resolution, or again, resolving to the B flat from there. So that can move for A too. So any of these voicings can resolve that way, and those movements are interesting. Like I said, you got this whole inside sort of movement that very interesting stuff. So that will give you a basic idea in regard to the whole tone scale. And again, the movements that are interesting are the ones where the voices just move very simply, like we saw with the ninth chord and the sharp 5 and the flat 5 chords. Also, a voicing like this, you know, this kind of works this way. This is an E flat 7 with a sharp 5, and it goes to a flat 5, and of course we can start to pull backwards, so that it starts this whole progression going backwards, just from starting here. Move the top voice. So we can start here, E flat, B, D flat, and G. Move the top voice to F, and we can then move the middle voice to A. It's a flat 5. Top voice to F, going backwards. Now we can sort of see how the voicings can move, and they're supple. All of a sudden, we take from the flat 5, the C sharp goes to B, the G goes to F, the F goes to D flat, and you can see how it goes on and on. It can just go backwards, and then all of a sudden you're here at the same process going backwards on D flat. So you have the whole thing kind of moving backwards now, and then you start on B, etc. And on, and then to an F7, etc. and resolving. So you can see how the whole tone chords, one evolves out of the other by just simple voice motion, moving each note in the chord to the next note in the scale. And in this case, we're avoiding doublings, just because that's what we're doing in our study. But you can very easy and very interesting color-wise. You can see how early 20th century composers could get very lost in these sort of sounds. I mean, they are fascinating sounds. They have a nice resonance to them, and there's so many possibilities that you have with those that we can do with just the basic whole tone scale. So those are some basic ideas on the 1, 2, 3, 4 string family, with the whole tone dominant, sharp 5 and flat 5, and these were on the G whole tone scale.